I took a few extra seconds there to eat some potato chips I forgot I had because I am hungry. Sleep schedule is a mess, eating schedule is a mess, but at least I had potato chips. I bought them in combination with a sandwich, but unfortunately sandwiches in Korea aren't very impressive unless you go to a more American-style sandwich shop. If you go to a sandwich shop that's Korean, it's like so different. It's really hard to explain, but trust me, it is. So the potato chips are the best part. Anyways, enough about my dinner, lunch, breakfast, whatever it is. We are in a best-of-5 TVP finals between two great players. First one being in the top left, sending that SCV out nice and quick. It is the blue Terran, GuMiho. On the bottom right, as the red Protoss, he is herO. Just 1 second while I plug in my headset. Someone was asking what headset I'm using. If you guys look down below the channel, you can actually see links to the Corsair website that have our reference in there. So if you use that, if you like the look of them, if you like a wireless headset that actually works, you can definitely check out the Void Wireless through that link. Help us out while helping yourself out with an awesome pair of headsets, keyboards, mice, cooling, whatever. Actually, anything works as long as you click through that link down below. And since it is the finals, gotta mention it yet again, that is all supported by Patreon. So for 3 years, fans have been supporting this tournament and making it as awesome as possible, increasing the prize pool. It's a lot of where the money goes, as well as to some other things. You can see all the details available, including the rewards you can get at patreon.com/Olimoleague. But GuMiho is going with the cheeser. This is, of course, something that herO scouts. One thing about herO's probe is that it is deadly, but it also is helpful because it can see what is being proxied, as it also plans a potential pylon proxy of itself. It's dual-purposed. And as such, herO goes for the Zealots. GuMiho once again trying with this bunker thing. I really wonder when this ever actually does anything. Because to me, I look at that and I just see another path where the Reaper can't escape from. Maybe that's the trick. Maybe you think you got it cornered and they just cancel the bunker. Now, I don't know if keeping the Zealot on hold position is any better than letting it run after him, to be honest. I mean, both are kind of questionable. But that is the only purpose of the Zealot, is to soak up shots the probes don't. But GuMiho is not too miffed about soaking up, having a shot soaked up by the Zealot. It's not usually about the first Reaper. It's about the second, and the Cyclone, and the Banshees, and whatever else follows this up. And we do have factory-producing Cyclones across the map, though, not proxied. Starport also not proxied. Cyclone... Oh, that was second Reaper. My bad. That's the first Cyclone being built. Alright, so... nothing to be worried about quite yet for that pylon. Only a Cyclone would really scare that. And so far this has been well handled by herO. Thank you to Josvon for the Twitch Prime sub. Sounded very proper. Josvon. Seems like the other tournament has ended, so appreciate any of you coming over from there. More awesome Korean StarCraft as we're in the finals of this Olimoleague Weekly. These guys are both basically guaranteed to the finals, the monthly finals, that is, as well, with the points they gather from today, but the first place is absolutely guaranteed. Now 3 Reapers. Barracks has finally given up and tries to go into the main base. He tried this against, I forget actually who it was, but it didn't really work out. It was just taking out Stats, that's who it was. Tried against Stats, but Marine wasn't worth it. But GuMiho is not too upset about having an entire barracks not producing and not adding tech labs back at home. He just plants down 3 at a time. That's what he did against Stats anyways. And lets his factory and starport do the talking. Pops that overcharge. Still quite a few more. Barracks gonna be a little distracting. But the photon overcharge, herO should never be truly threatened. So letting his stalkers chase this is not so bad. Immortal now on the way. Not actually what you want against a Banshee, obviously, but it's a Robo, so an Observer is at least going to be in play. And there are a handful of Stalkers. Check the pylon positioning real quick. Perfect triangle in the main base, as one should, but no pylon in the back, means the Banshee could get some damage done if that's where GuMiho sends her first and foremost. A little ragtag group of units that are surprisingly powerful at the front of the base will just pounce on any opportunity that the pylons are left alone. Observer is going to see that it's cloaked Banshee very, very soon. There it is. So the Banshee is out, but she's only about halfway across the map. And also give herO ample opportunity to, yeah, there you go, have a pylon in the back, have an Observer there too. The Banshee might still be able to get 2 or 3 kills and still escape the Photon Overcharge. But she won't be as devastating as GuMiho was hoping for. SCV scouting. Okay. The Banshee quickly dodges around, sees what's up. Doesn't even get a single probe here. Really not much she can do. Is there a second Banshee? There is. She's coming across the map. This might give a little more opportunity, because not only are there 2 Banshees, there's also this Force, again, that can try and distract. herO has gone up to Colossus, still on 2 base, playing it pretty safe and secure. Adding on a single upgrade here. And charge. Observer sees all. And it sees the transition out of the Banshees. It sees the barracks adding on those tech labs. Knows that stim won't be done for quite some time. Finally, the Banshee doing some damage. For a Cloak Banshee, I don't know, 6 is still okay, but not great. Really, 6 apiece, I think, would be okay with the second Banshee. Where'd she go? Oh, they both went home. Alrighty. Pairing this up with the main push whenever that does occur sometimes works out. Cyclones really start to lose their value as the game goes on, though, so I'm not too sure about these guys. And of course, the Reapers, I mean, what are they going to do when Colossus are out? Not very much. Although I'd love to see a Colossus grenaded. I want to see that thing flying around in the air. Poking and prodding. Scans to see... I guess he didn't get a good glimpse of what the army was. Doesn't see the Colossus. Sneaky, sneaky. Knows about the 3rd base. Could probably have gone over there and gotten a bit of the jump on herO, but now herO is well positioned for it. Charge and +1 finishing up as Stim. Combat shields +1 finish up for GuMiho. And his army is moving across the map. 3 Cyclones, 2 tanks, 2 Banshees, 2 Medivacs, and whatever bio he can grab. A couple of SCVs. For repair, I kind of like that move. Just barely enough to maybe make it worth it, but not enough to, you know, say, they're pulling the boys, oh my god. Now, there's not really a direct answer to the Colossus like Vikings are a direct answer. Tanks and Banshees can either get the range, of course, of the tanks, or just get the damage with the Banshees. A couple of shots from these guys, and they actually will take the Colossus down a notch. I wondered if the SCVs were also going to be building static defense, and they do try. herO's going to go in before it's ready to go. No, there is the missile turret. The Widow Mines have already popped off. Didn't quite take out all of the Zealots. 3 Colossus still going strong. And the Banshees, they could not help out enough. It looks like herO is going to dominate this push. And as such, dominate GuMiho. GG. Whoopsie. Alright, herO looking very strong in this matchup. Sometimes, I want to say like 90% of the time, he just looks really good. And then his opponent has to play just a little bit better, and that's just an awesome game. 10% of the time, we're like, oh, it's gonna be amazing, herO, way to go. And then he just loses, and it's like the weirdest thing. He just has his game sense is all thrown off. Like, I don't know, his missed micro hurts him more than other times. And just not the best. But this herO today, looking quite good. GuMiho, though, you know, I gotta always mention just that his opener did not work out very well. Triple Reaper didn't do very much. Cyclone follow-up didn't do very much. Banshees got 4 probes, maybe not even. That's not very worth at all. There is definitely supposed to be more economic damage done. that herO could afford a huge army with all those upgrades and Colossus was already not a great sign, regardless of how that army push was gonna look. Proxima is gonna be the next map. There's the countdown. Let's get into the game. It's preferable to watching me just type. It's best of 5, still a few games to go, and that's bottom left. As the red Terran, it is GuMiho. In the top right, as the blue Protoss, it is herO. Well, a lot of Korean StarCraft today, lots to come as well. BTSL, I believe, is still happening tomorrow. We will be casting the DreamHack Valencia group stages, and I think the day 1, 2, and 3, if I'm not mistaken. So that'll be a lot of Foreigner StarCraft, but tomorrow BTSL, and then still a lot of long days of StarCraft too. WCS can go on for a very long time. What the hell? I can't add this person. Oh, what can I ever do if I can't add someone? Yeah, the bot is dead. As Rifkin is not here and the bot's not up, we have a proxy factory just being built in base this time. Last time we saw this from GuMiho, he it was a different map, but for instance, he would have put it over here and then lifted it over here. But just putting in the natural, that is truly something. herO sees that it is what looks to be a 1-Rex expand, actually. The command center does go down just after a proxied factory, so who expects that? Well, herO is scouting for something. He thinks that there's a proxy. Gas is taking a little too early. But he's just not looking in the right place. The Reaper distracts. The SCV, it's probably like, where the hell did that come from? The Widow Mine, unfortunately, being at the natural, won't get the really good kills, and herO realizes what's up. Pylon is put down. Eventually, I mean, it's just like, the Widow Mine shouldn't be doing very much in the first place. I don't know how much more GuMiho will want to commit to this. Reaper does get 2 kills. Robo's on the way for herO, and he seems to have dealt with this perfectly fine. Oh, he does not grab the Widow Mine. That's kind of what the pylon was there for. Oh, that dies. That dies. Such weak damage, but it still dies. This is not a great start for GuMiho. I mean, he still expanded. It's not the worst, most dedicated opener that failed, but it just, it was supposed to at least last longer, you know? Like, forget about the actual direct kills. Usually this thing can make 3 or 4 Widow Mines, and usually it forces them to respond quite differently, but herO knew something was up. He went for a Robo first, found a Stargate that could be a little tricky with all the revelations you would need, and it just was an easy peasy defense. Now he's getting a Warp Prism, a couple of gateways, just gonna apply a little bit of counter pressure of his own. This GuMiho has added on a Starport. It's going for a Medevac, not a Viking, to help out with the Warp Prism. Factory didn't go very far. It is building a tech lab. I know FCG is reading donations. Well, I have the BaseTradeTV Twitch alert open, but if it hasn't been known for the past 4 or 5 years, I don't keep my own personal one open at the same time. So that would be not the place to do it. Warp Prism is scouted by the Marine. Observer sees what's available here, and that is certainly tempting for the Warp Prism to just drop on. Medevac's full of just Marines, can be taken out by a couple of units. They just need to get over here and help defend. No pylon in the back makes it a little more complicated too. And a slow warp in. Ooh. Whoops. The Stalker Micro. It's pretty real. Takes out the Marines. Could definitely take out this, the Liberator, but more likely just going after the SCVs. They're going to try and repair it. Marines do get cleaned up. A lot of lost mining time, but not so many lost probes. A tank from the low ground. I want to say I like the idea, but it just literally only takes out the pylon. Well, now it can't. It doesn't have high ground vision. This Liberator is trying its best to help, but just a couple of Marines isn't really that much of a help. Finally, that Viking pops out. That's a little bit scarier. 5 SCVs went down. Most of the Stalkers lived, and now we're on a way to disrupt their drops. Yeah. Thank you again to He Hate Me for the 500 bits. How long are you in Korea? Another month. Love disruptor drops. Scan finally goes down on that observer that's just been there the entire time. Warp Prism goes on home. An observer sees that, like, where the hell did that tank come from? Oh, we just didn't go very far with this factory. That means there won't be any Widow Mines to really worry about, you know? You have to be very cautious about the Warp Prism flying into a Viking, of course, but definitely more cautious about it flying into a Widow Mine, because that thing, well, almost one-shots it. Any amount of damage taken prior will successfully kill it. But the factory never went home. The factory never made Widow Mines past the initial 2 or 3. Kind of safe to roam around with it. Kills it straight up. No armory, no second starport. Not until he rebuilds it. Observer sees this army, so I think GuMiho was hoping he would just walk up that ramp into tank fire. It's not going to happen. GuMiho also, I guess, was going to be able to take out a 3rd if that was on location, but herO still not moving towards 3rd, just adding on gateways, forge, blink. GuMiho is on his way to a 3rd. Tanks are picked up. Disruptor didn't look like he got the best hit, but I see a lot of bodies, so I think he just got the Marines. Tanked in out was a little more important. Oh, I went on the tanks. Yeah, okay. So they're quite low, but they survived. Disruptor, is it off cooldown already? Oh, it is. Oh, some pretty nice shots right there. 7 SCVs, and of course getting out alive is most important. Viking is a little late to the party. What's up, guys? No late. Third base now on location for herO, but it's way behind that of GuMiho's. 48 probes or 45 SCVs. herO's economy isn't that great. But certainly there's been a lot of spikes, there's a lot of SCV pulls, there's been a lot of just action going on that it's not quite as fluid and normal as a TVP. I thought he was killing his tank for a second. Oh, man. Another 4 SCVs from that shot. Good stuff. And as I said, doesn't really worry about being caught by a Widow Mine. That's usually where a Widow Mine is against a Warp Prism right there, but no worries. Medevac drop to try and catch the Warp Prism. Does he notice? He does. There's just barely enough dead space on Proxima to let that slip on by. Good stuff from herO. Still taking advantages while getting up to all of his upgrades. 1-1. Send Thermal Lance, Blink. A couple of Colossus on the way. He's looking good in game number 2. I'm gonna watch this Disruptor roam around. herO is taking such control over the map with this thing. You know, and the SCV kills. Oh, man. Even forcing out a stim is some good damage. tabs on the army. There's not much, you know, obviously an oracle's never made, so there's no revelation for easy peasy detection. There's not many observers around the map, so this kind of is the only telltale sign of where the army is. Oh, 2 health. Oh my god. Oh, jeez. That's probably why it's not the greatest scout ever. Pylons are going to be put down. I need to see exactly where the drops come in, but herO on his way to a 4th. As I said, adding on this Colossus, now adding on Storm. GuMiho going to his own late game plan here. He did make a factory again. So he's got a second starport being made and an armory finally, but certainly the lack of an armory. herO should be ahead in these upgrades. This little pylon path here. Just follow the pylon crumbs to death because you can photon overcharge it. That's not how that fairy tale went. Again, if anyone's confused, this is ex-CJ, currently Roots herO. Certainly their playstyles are very different, and one shows up more to tournaments than the other. Rifkin is not here because his internet was not working, and it was very last minute, so I don't have a co-caster, but that's okay. I got that second armor now on the way. Twilight Council upgrades have been rounded out. GuMiho trying to get to his 4th base and starting his own upgrades finally. Really not that far behind for what was Double Forge after 1-1. High Templars littered around looking for feedbacks. They're getting energy for Storm. I'm definitely giving the army to herO, but GuMiho's army is not bad. It is just missing a couple crucial elements. Mostly more Liberators and maybe Ghosts later on. Hallucinated Phoenix didn't do very much. The Disruptor War Prism's still alive, by the way. Just no longer a pair. They were adopted separately. That's super sad. Dark Shrine being added on. Stargate being added on. Observer Speed, too. Who gets that anymore? But the Stargate, I definitely think, is just realizing how this game's going to go. herO might be in a lot of control. He's got most of the map covered with these pylons. He's got 5 bases. But Mass Liberator is always a problem. If you don't get the Tempest, if you don't have the Oracle at casting Revelation, knowing how they're moving and positioning, then Mass Liberators can certainly bring back a ton of different situations. But this isn't really Mass Liberator yet. Just 4 of them is not very scary, so it gives up on the idea of a Planetary at the 4th. This one was denied over here. Army's moving in, thinking about it, thinking about it. Not a whole lot of charge lots in here, though. Maybe just a little too small to go up against a well-defended GuMiho. There's a lot more Liberators now, up to 10. I guess they're just hiding and chilling in the main base. And 2-2 is about to finish up, leaving them at even upgrades. Tempest should be coming around soon. Or Void Rays. He doesn't have a Fleet Beacon yet. Oversight? Maybe. Ghost Academy on the way. herO certainly took a lot of control in the mid-game, but it is evened out here. GuMiho, not being forced to take a lot of fights, has managed to accrue quite a bank. You can see the resources lost for a 13-minute game is really not that high. And they both are just trying to get to their ultimate composition, which I think if the Tempest count grows to like 5, I give the army composition back to herO. Up until that point, if the Liberator counts more than 8, I give it to the Terran. Liberator's a good unit. But I love the mass stack defense. This is going to make the Liberators just so much more difficult to find that good position. You know, they take a good fight, they try and siege forward, and then, oops, nope, just kidding, there's cannons. This also helps against the Ghosts. That's a more old-fashioned dynamic of cannons. Protoss versus the late-game army of Terran. You know, if they cloak, there's obviously easy-peasy detectors. If they try and run forward to EMP, the cannons can sometimes get that important snipe on them. It's good stuff and a good use of herO's bank. He otherwise would have had quite a sizable bank, right? But he puts it all into advanced tech, Tempest, and a lot of cannons. But then leaves his cannons alone. Well, that's where the bio takes them out. Well, I loved the idea, but he's gonna have to replace them. Take a quick look at the income advantage. I haven't checked this out in the last like 8 minutes. Not that long, but yeah, okay. As expected, herO taking the leads here. Bit of a big drop in the main, but there are worse storms. There's Photon Overcharge, and good God, that was not totally worth. I think it only got. I think it had a High Templar and a couple of pylons. Disruptor, did you even help out, man? Well, that's some extra base defense, just in case. Cannon over here is very helpful. It can single medevac drop. We got a run by over here full of a lot of marauders, but there's so many pylons scouting that herO is never going to be completely blindsided. Probes are going down in the gas geysers. Hopefully herO remembers to put them back in there. Trying to run around this DT. Looks like herO is pushing forward as GuMiho pulled back, but he's pulling back into a good defensive position. He's pulling back on a lot of ghosts. Those ghosts have to be so careful. They do get the EMPs on all of the High Templar, but they lose their lives to the Colossus. There's still like 5 more. They kind of already did their job, but there's not any bio to capitalize on that. If this bio plus the bio that has died is on the front lines right now, maybe he tries to take the fight. But even then, he would have really needed the Liberators. There's 5 Colossus that would shred any type of bio unit. Slowly taking all those Liberators out. The base will go down, and herO, despite having the pylons, still ended up not being able to defend. This medevac's still alive too, I guess. Command center being denied by DTs, but more importantly, the main fight still going down. He's pulled his accessory High Templars that are almost full on energy here. There are a couple of ghosts. They're going to need to get those EMPs. But I'm afraid that they won't. It's all types of clumped up. Storms do rain down from above along with the Colossus, and that is a very dead Terran army. The Colossus here is not even going to go down, but is it going to turn into a base trade? GuMiho has got a couple of extra bases that are being floated right now. This one's just running away from the DTs. The High Templars over here do not quite have a storm ready to go. This one does, however. Storm on top of the Marauders, DT pecking away as well. That is a lot of damage done, and the medevacs are mostly dry. The army is not quite stalled out, it's just not moving forward. It could definitely move into the production. The production is usually death for the Terran, and I think the numbers definitely tell the story if the visuals on the screen do not. And GuMiho just doesn't really stand a chance in this game. He tries so desperately to get a drop in, but Stalkers take care of that. And a base race is not going to be favorable. GuMiho looking so good against Protoss up until he met herO. Not quite ready to tap out of the second game. There is a bit of a lack of fodder on the ground, I suppose, but Tempest, Colossus, High Templars, galore. Don't matter. GG, herO takes game number 2. It is a best of 5, however. So still at least one more game to go. Thank you to Sorte Blair for the 21-month resub. And now onto a quick break. Ended up being perfectly timed. We are on to what is potentially... Oh. Remake? Yeah, I think they have to remake. Well... almost perfectly timed, guys. Damn. Crank being a pretty important caster to have in the game. Guessing StarCraft just died or something. It took a long time to load in, but alright, so that just leaves me awkwardly here, talking about nothing. GuMiho did choose Abyssal Reef, and he is down 2-0 against this Protoss. Just a very different type of Protoss, I guess. Different than stats, different than whoever else he's faced today, and herO on point is also just a very scary guy. I missed Tenchi host after that tournament ended. I mentioned the tournament had ended, but missed the host, so thank you very much. We're quickly back into the game. As I said, I think just, you know, derpiness that is StarCraft sometimes. You load into the game, you alt-tab, and it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then it dies, and it just pops up again. Thank you to Racer 2000 for the 7-month resub. Wow, the year 2000. That's gotta be a cool future. And now this looks better. Cut! This is where I started. You guys can't say otherwise. Abyssal Reef. This was GuMiho's map choice as he is facing a very, very tough opponent. In the top left, this is him. It's the blue Protoss, herO. And in the bottom right, as the red Terran, it's GuMiho. Whoopsie. GuMiho tried the proxy, he tried the factory. I don't know what he does now. Just plays a regular macro game, perhaps. But herO, since he's had to deal with cheese, proxy Reaper, hidden factory, proxy, like, he hasn't really been able to do much of his, like, his usual cheese himself. He has been aggressive, and that's why I love herO. Even if it's not cheese, it's usually aggression. But it's not been like the early Photon Overcharge into the proxy Oracle into blah 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 blah. It has been kind of first and foremost about defending against whatever GuMiho is throwing at him. This game, it's not going to be, you know, the super cheese, no second gas. The probe is scouting, but not looking to do any harm quite yet. And it looks like it will just be 2 normal builds. These guys, such interesting characters, their play style. I knew this TVP was going to be good. I'm like occasionally checking Twitter, right, during the breaks, and it just seems like JMac Valencia staff is getting, well, I don't know, some severe karma or something, because everyone's flights except Fear Dragons is turning into a bit of a shit show. Long layovers, not enough of a layover, so they're missing their connection. At least they have each other, apparently. People tweeting at each other, letting them know what, you know, terminal they're in. It's kind of funny, but that's what happens when you watch everyone mention each other, right? That's what happens when 10 of your following Twitter followers is... Twitter following? What do you call it when you follow them? The people you're following all converse with each other through Twitter. This has just been a regular opener. No proxy factory, no proxy starport. Reaper just runs on back home. Command center a little delayed. The Mothership Core is moving across the map because herO likes to apply the pressure even if it's not off the one base. So there goes the double pylon this time. GuMiho already kind of preempting this, already went for a Cyclone, is over halfway done. And this should not be doing too much. In fact, I don't even think it can get the reactor this time. It's like the Reaper managed to get 3 probe kills. Didn't expect that, so I didn't go back and look. But that's not... it's very good for the Reaper, not very good for herO. Who's also just really being denied on this pressure. He can't Photon Overcharge that pylon anymore. All he's gonna have is this one supply depot. Consolation prize right there. He's gonna try and take on the pylon. Is that worth it? Why? Okay. Well, loses the Cyclone. I'm not sure that was totally worth. Probe, did you get another kill? No, 3. Finally goes down. But this... Okay, second Cyclone pops out. That was supposed to be a lot smoother, almost perfect defense, really, without that Cyclone dying, but it's still an okay defense. Lock on the Militia Core, can't even kill it, even if it still had the range and the vision. Oracle follow-up is not as fast as it could be, but it's on the way. herO, up until now, has been playing with Robotech, so a bit of a change-up for him. That might surprise GuMiho, just, you know, hasn't had to deal with it in this series. It's always been about, like, where's that Warp Prism coming in, or how is my proxy doing? As such, I don't see any Widow Mines. There are none. He's picking up whatever units he does have and then unloading them. Psych. Okay, then picking them up again. But the Oracle can come across the map. The Phoenix can help deal with the medevac drop because it won't need a Revelation. Where is that Oracle? Oh, it's gonna stay at home. Okay, well. Of course, herO can't be sure there wasn't a Widow Mine. Oh. And that'll just be able to help with the DPS. Takes out the Cyclone. Scares away the medevac. Cyclone is in fact going to die, but the medevac, if that lived, wouldn't be so bad for GuMiho. Really trying to save it too. Well, herO trying to kill it. He wants this. He deserves this. He opened up with a Stargate. You're supposed to get the medevac. Yeah, he's gonna get it. GuMiho at the last second also just gives up on it, realizing it's not going to work out that way. We have herO not adding on a very fast third base, which was scouted, by the way. The question is, did GuMiho think that was a late / non-existent third, or did he think that it was just like a little bit delayed because of his pressure? And that's a real question. Resident Enclaves, no +1, lots of gateways, 2 bases, no more probes being produced. GuMiho might think that he has a much longer game here than he truly does. He won't have a wall. He'll have a tank, but sometimes that looks very lame against Phoenix Adepts. Phoenixes can pick it up. Adepts can jump on it with the shade. Sometimes it's not a very good thing to have. Okay, he'll have a wall at the front, but not the side. We'll see how that goes down. A little bit of harassment, trying to pull GuMiho's army away, trying to get him from stopping him from seeing this push. The city saw Phoenix, they did not see the Adepts. Revelation now sees where the army is exactly. Here's that warp prism. Big old warp in. herO is ready to go. He's got Resident Enclaves. The wall off is there, but it's very weak. herO not want to go in quite yet. He's gonna go for the main. He's gonna go for the main. GuMiho has no idea about this. Stim, combat shields +1, all still a ways away. And that's gonna be so many Adepts. His tank's gonna be out of position. His Marines will get slaughtered. And he has a decent number of them, but they're just not upgraded. +1 denied. Tanks denied by the Phoenixes. This is just such a surprise. He thought it was going to be a macro game. It absolutely was not. And this looks like it's going to be the end of GuMiho. GG. herO, what a boss. Takes down someone who had just taken down a ton of other Protosses, a ton of other good Protosses in style. herO can have such good days. It's amazing. Makes Protoss look truly, truly broken. But what a surprise build. Really tricking GuMiho that last game right there. So GG. It was a best of 5. It's a 3-0 clean. And GuMiho's taking second place. herO's taking first. So guaranteed into the monthly finals as well as that cash dollar prize. And that'll be it. Yeah. I kind of feel like that was over a little too soon. I'm like not quite prepared to send out the shout outs, you know, but that's over and done with. Thank you guys for watching the Olimoleague. Once again, if you want to support the Olimoleague, you can go to patreon.com/Olimoleague and see what the rewards are and why you should support it. I think just in general, the Korean StarCraft passion is real, is the best support. Follow the channel down below, pushing following for the channel, so please do so. You can follow the YouTube. If you didn't catch all the games today, they are put on YouTube probably within 24 hours. Sometimes even sooner. So youtube.com/BaseTradeTV. You can follow me on Twitch at ZombieGrub, YouTube ZombieGrub, and Twitter at CG Gaming. And what else? Again, if someone is talking about my headset, you want to check out the sponsors down below. It's Corsair Gaming. You can click on the link and go anywhere from that link, go to any section, and that'll still make sure that we are credited, basically, for sending you their way, so that really helps us out. You can also look down below for the Amazon links. If you're going to buy anything for like the Amazon deals, the Amazon sale, or whatever is happening right now, then use those links, and that'll help me out personally. And then what else here? We are casting the BTSL tomorrow, and then DreamHack Valencia Community Cast for the next 3 days after that. A lot of casting still to be done. And that, I think, is going to round things off. I'm going to end the cast with a couple of commercials and then send a host someone's way. So thank you very much for watching, guys. And we'll see you tomorrow in about basically like 12 hours. 24 hours, sorry, I can't do hours. Whatever, guys. Bye.